Sounds of the Week on iRadio.
Wataka befunzi jua os yom service Arabia khas bijasi wataka. Lakini tani jitu wataka mader wajin lelelele. Fi Arabia tani silu. Puru hela biud zen kun wahid. Moyo bala aliku busa bala. Diku busha tishari. Diku buwe wende mader moyo bala. Mader kalam kita moyo bala aliku busa tishari. Kanika mainda idara fi besa. Ita di kutu rukubat pika ketir dijabe lakini mainda bakana. Nasa algaju rukibebe gahar wedi. Manato ita almaindo bakana fi besa wa ita gaju rukubat haji lenas wanazi gahar pikis wavijana fishari. Maderu kalamde. Kanna ligo beda almaindo bakana. Anena bamul arida le makama. Ana bishilida le makama. Le maida bakana fi jabe. Debi kama musulia vita hakoma barao. De musulia pitana fi bihai idinda hak wa ita jatu fi beta ita jiran ita indo hak asal complain man jiran kita maindo bakana wa ita indo hak asal complain jiran madera mo nadafa fi suru fi betu wa maindo nadafa fi jwa fi fadaya fita os.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio. Your eye on South Sudan. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Programs Adud Salva Kiir has described peace as forgiveness and reconciliation, a principle she says her office stands for. A community leader in Lokiliri Payam of Juba County says a couple were shot dead and 5 children abducted by armed men on Sunday at Aru Junction. And the Director General of Civil Registry, Nationality, Passport and Immigration has appealed to the public to remain patient as his office works to resolve delays in printing of identity documents for applicants from the states. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Baria Johnson, and now the news in detail. Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Programs, Adud Salva Kiir, has described peace as forgiveness and reconciliation, a principle she says her office stands for. Upon her swearing in on Friday, Adud has pledged to prioritize services in the education, health, tourism and hospitality sectors, describing these areas as central to closing the gap between leadership and citizens. During the ceremony, she said she sees her role as a representative of women, youth, and the vulnerable, and those voices are often unheard. Speaking at her family residence in Juba on Saturday, Adud said the Special Program Office is committed to promoting peace among all South Sudanese. She says peace is personal and involves letting go of what burdens the heart.
Peace is also when you forgive. When you forgive, you feel peace. Not because that other person will feel the peace, but because you as an individual will feel the heaviness of what you were feeling inside your heart evaporates when you forgive. Peace is reconciliation. Peace of mind is when you wake up as a human being and feel the dignity that you're alive and that you're protected, you're taken care of, and the services are provided. And I feel that that is what Special Program stands for, bringing peace to all South Sudanese.
A community leader in Lokiliri Payam of Juba County says a couple were shot dead and 5 children abducted by armed men on Sunday at Aru Junction. Longino Michael, who is the chairperson of the Ulubo community, said the couple were killed at 10 p.m. when armed men attacked the area. According to Michael, 2 of the abducted children are the sons of the deceased couple.
Yesterday at 10:05 p.m. in Ari Junction, a group of armed men came and then attacked my people there. They killed 2 persons and then took 5 children. All these children are male boys. These people, they just popped in and then killed that husband and the wife seemed to be also pregnant. The person who was killed and his wife have 2 children taken. And then the other man also has 2 children, and then the other person also has 1 children. So the total number of 5 children were taken.
Michael says the attack has sparked fear and raised serious security concerns among residents, especially those farming in the area. He is calling on the government to urgently step in and provide protection to the vulnerable communities in Lokeliri Payam.
I just wanted to alert our government that there's something going on which is not good, particularly in my area. And they are even forcing people who are at the farm. When they get you, either they kill you or they just take all your food items. Our area is in danger. I want the government to open eyes, to help us, to protect those people there.
The National Police spokesperson is yet to comment on the incident. The Director General of Civil Registry, Nationality, Passport and Immigration has appealed to the public to remain patient as his office works to resolve delays in the printing of identity documents for applicants from the state. Major General Ilia Costa made the appeal after members of the public raised concerns over delays in receiving their nationality identity cards and passports. He apologized to those affected and explained that the delay is due to occasional shortages of card supplies. According to General Costa, about 2,600 booklets have been sent to the 10 states and 3 administrative areas to help address the shortages. He said the distribution started after the Minister of Finance cleared part of the payment for the nationality and passport books. General Costa added that although there are offices in the states, printing is only done in Juba since it is the National Database Center. General Costa spoke on iRadio's Don Show this morning.
المكاتب بتاعنا في موجود في كل الولايات لكن مركز بتاع الداتابيس بتاعنا ياهو موجود في جوا هنا فالإجراءات بتاع الجنسية بتتم في الولاية بيجيبوها هنا بس لبرينت اوت عشان هنا ينزل في داتا بتاعنا عشان نقدر نعرف عدد بتاع ناس الطلبة الجنسيات كم في تأخير بعد مرة بحصل ونحن بنعتذر في ذاك نسبة بعد مرة بكون ما في كروت بتاع الجنسيات فهذا سبب البقالي أنه يكون فيها تأخير وأنا مذكر بعد ما أنا جيت استلمتها جيت في ولايات كان عندهم جنسيات هنا يتأخر وأنا وجهت في كل ولاية طلع له 100 جنسية ده الدفعة الأول وفي الدفعة الثاني برضو طلعنا ل 100 جنسية فنحن ساعين كلام تأخير بتاعت الدفع لو قدرنا فيه ويمكن حققنا نسبة 90% من النجاح بتاعنا بعد ما بكون في أي مشكلة بالنسبة للتأخير ما بكون في تأخير ثاني.
The former Warab State Governor, General Aliu Ai Aliu, praised senior presidential envoy Adut Salva Kiir as a unique appointment, asserting that she has no vested interest unlike other government officials. Speaking at her family residence in Juba on Saturday, Aliu stated that Adut did not join the government to make wealth but service the citizens.
Adut is the only person who has joined this political appointment. I think she's not joining it or she accepted to join it because she's going to make wealth. Adut Biar Bunu Haramia him. Adut Biar, who is the Minister of Finance, who is corrupt. Adut has been in the market with all these people who have brought Southern Sudan down. So she knows them. I'm saying Adut, I've seen so many protocols now around you. You were part of this group, sole traders, business that you were there. Do not let them follow you to that office. These young businessmen, let them remain where they are. Because you have a very serious mission.
Aliu urged Adut Kiir to set an example by declaring her wealth to the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Tomorrow morning, when you go to your office, call the chairman of Anti-Corruption and declare all the wealth you have in front of the Nubin, and you will see what will happen. Because you made them. They have without the Syria. Go and tell the anti-corruption, these are my company or my company. Do not look for Kenyan. Just look for any white man or an Indian to manage your business while you are doing now. You have come out. You are income the sharp. You have nothing to do with the business.
You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News. The Minister of Information in Upper Nile State says a task force has been formed to support people living in flood-prone areas after a national warning about rising water levels in the Nile River. Peter Ngwojo says the committee include representatives from the Ministry of Rural Development and Cooperatives, the Relief and Rehabilitation Commission, non-governmental organizations and UN agencies. He says the move follows a recent alert by the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation warning of possible flooding in areas along the Nile due to increased water levels. Peter says some parts of Makal, Fashoda and Panikan counties have already experienced flooding. He added that the task force is providing support such as food and shelter to affected people while others have been moved to higher ground. He says the floods and heavy rains have also affected farms, making it difficult for some communities to plant this season.
We are delivering to them together with the partners. We are delivering like a shelter to them, and some people already left their areas, and some were evacuated to the highest places. Evacuated. Yeah, they already left because there are farms around near the river. They also evacuated this area. They went to the highest places, here in Makal County. Yeah, they are looking for several places. Yeah, so we are providing like shelters to them, and this is some small needs like food also. We are now requiring them to be provided with some food because this farm, this one affected the farm. You know, it is a rainy season and they cultivate it, and this cultivation now is affected by the flood.
And finally, the Commission of Juba County has warned the public against throwing garbage on the streets and declared Saturday as a general cleaning day for Juba City. Speaking to residents of Joppa at Kubri Habobo on Sunday, Commissioner Emmanuel Tete Isbon said there are already allocated garbage collection points in every area. He urged citizens to keep their waste at home until Saturday, when garbage trucks will collect it or take it to the allocated collection points. Tete said cleaning the city is a shared responsibility between the citizens, residents, and the government. He added that Saturday will now be observed as a city-wide cleaning day.
So risala betana le muwatin innu ma yajibu askan fi share itakhali askan betak fi bet aw indana garbage collection points ala hadarnao kan fi suq wala fi hilla indana rabat shagal namshi nashil wasakh da minna ganak تتخلي واسكان بتاعك في محلات الحددوا عشان نقدر نشيله. شو نقدر نقول إنه كل يوم سبت هيكون يوم ده ندافع في جوبا كاونتي. Now we started with by Luri Road. Then the next week, or after 2 weeks, we go to the Eastern Bank, especially side of Gumba and Sherekat Lologo.
This is iRadio News, and for the regional and international news, we are joined by Madrama James.
Thanks, my colleague Baria Johnson. Let's have a look at some of the stories making headlines around the globe. At least 15 people, including 4 journalists working for the international media, reported to have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a hospital in the southern Gaza Strip. A Reuters cameraman and an Associated Press journalist were among those killed in the attack at Al-Nasser Hospital. The 2 other journalists are reported to have worked for Al Jazeera and NBC. Several people were killed in an initial strike and others in a second, which happened as rescuers attended the scene, the Hamas-run civil defense said. Elsewhere, India will continue to buy oil from where it gets the best deal in order to protect the interests of its 1.4 billion people, the country's ambassador to Russia has said. Vinay Kumar's statement comes days before U.S. President Donald Trump's 50% tariff on India, including a 25% penalty for buying Russian oil and weapons, are set to kick in. On Sunday, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said that Trump had announced a secondary tariff on India to apply aggressive economic leverage on Russia and force it to stop the war in Ukraine. Finally, President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine will continue to fight for its freedom, while its call for peace are not heard in a defined address to the nation on its Independence Day. He said, "We need just a peace where our future will be decided decided only by us, he said, adding that Ukraine was not a victim, it is a fighter. Ukraine has not yet won, but it has certainly not lost. These are some of the stories making headlines around the globe, and back to you, my colleague Baria Johnson.
Thank you, Madrama. And for the sports news, we are joined by Darlington Moses.
Thank you so much, Baria Johnson. And now to the world of sport. The Football Association is investigating a banner unfolded by Crystal Palace fans that depicted Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis holding a gun to midfielder Morgan Gibbs Whitehead. Forest are hugely disappointed that supporters were permitted to bring the banner into Selhurst Park. According to well-placed sources, Crystal Palace have been approached for comment by the BBC. The FA is probing the banner and will decide whether Palace will face punishment. Chelsea have begun and given permission to Borussia Dortmund to fly Connie Chukwuemeka and Aaron Aselmino to Germany to complete moves that will take player sales at the Stamford Bridge this summer to beyond 270 million euros. Chukwuemeka, 21-year-old, spent the second half of last season on loan at Dortmund and is set to sign on a permanent basis for a fee rising to about 24 million euros, with a significant sell-on clause included. The England under-20 international was keen to move back to the Westfalen Stadium despite interest from RB Leipzig, and is in the process of finalizing his return. Novak Djokovic hopes the physical struggle he faced before powering to victory in the US Open first round was deeply down to a lack of match practice. The 38-year-old Serb, who earned a 6-7, 6-6, 6-3 and 6-2 win over American teenager Lena Tien, had not played since losing in the Wimbledon semi-finals in early July. During the second set, Djokovic's level dropped considerably as he looked increasingly flustered and unsteadily on his feet in a humid New York. The 24 times major champion needed treatment for blisters on his toe after securing the second set tie break, but said the issue was not the season or the reason behind his dip. This is all in the world of sport, and back to you, Baria Johnson.
Thank you, Darlington. You're listening to iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the main headlines. Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Programs Adut Salva Kiir has described peace as forgiveness and reconciliation, a principle she says her office stands for. A community leader in Lokere Payam of Juba County says a couple were shot dead and 5 children abducted by armed men on Sunday at Aru Junction. And the Director General of Civil Registry, Nationality, Passport and Immigration has appealed to the public to remain patient as his office works to resolve delays in the printing of identity documents for applicants from the states. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Baria Johnson. Thank you for listening.